Something major just went down in Indiana. Lexie Hull, one of the Fever's most loyal and hardworking players, is out. And Caitlin Clark's reaction. It spoke volumes. Lexie didn't storm out or cause drama. She simply delivered a calm, respectful goodbye that felt like a punch to the gut. I've loved my years here in Indiana.
Season's very uncertain for the entire league in general, but you're a free agent for the first time. Have you thought about what free agency might look like for you if you'd like to be back?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a restricted free agent, so I think that changes things a little bit, but I've loved my years here in Indiana. So obviously with a lot of uncertainty, you don't know what's to come, but I've built a life here, and I love this franchise. I love the people, I love the fans, so.
Her voice was steady, her eyes heavy. There's a lot of uncertainty, she said. We'll see what comes. That's athlete code for *I'm gone. Fans felt it immediately. The same Lexie Hull who dove for every loose ball, who hustled when the team fell apart, who stood by Caitlin through the chaos, just walked away. And the wild part? No one saw it coming. This wasn't just another roster move, it was a message. Something inside Indiana is starting to crack. Because when a player like Lexie, known for her loyalty, her grit, her ability to grind through losing streaks and media storms, decides to leave, it means the foundation itself is shaking.
Lexie Natasha tweeted and was just saying a bunch about pride and how proud she was of this team. Have you kind of had similar emotions the last couple of days, and how do you balance that with a very painful ending to the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think like following the game, it's so disappointing to lose. And most seasons end on a loss, so it's really hard and challenging, but I think when you sit back and think about our year and everything that we were able to accomplish with the circumstances that we were faced with.
For Caitlin Clark, this one hits different. Lexie wasn't just a teammate, she was one of the few who truly got her. They trained side by side, shared interviews, and smiled through those brutal post-game pressers. Now, Caitlin stands alone, her support system gone, her locker room energy fading. So, what really went down inside the Fever locker room? Why did Lexie walk away? And what does that mean for Caitlin's future in Indiana? Buckle up, because this isn't just a player leaving. It's a franchise losing a piece of its soul. To understand why Lexie Hull's exit cuts so deep, you've got to rewind the tape.
Uncertain for the entire league in general, but you're a free agent for the first time. Have you thought about what free agency might look like for you if you'd like to be back?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a restricted free agent, so I think that changes things a little bit, but I've loved my years here in Indiana. So obviously with a lot of uncertainty, you don't know what's to come, but I've built a life here, and I love this franchise. I love the people, I love the fans, so we'll see what comes. Elliot?
This season wasn't just rough, it was chaos. Injuries, messy rotations, and non-stop media storms around Caitlin Clark turned the Fever into a pressure cooker. And through it all, Lexie was the glue. She wasn't putting up flashy numbers or going viral online, but she brought something every locker room desperately needs: consistency. While others complained about minutes, she just showed up and did the work.
First of all, just how's the back end general?
It's better. I'm excited to sit down and not do anything for a little bit. Yeah.
For you, what was this season like in terms of the different iterations and the different versions of yourself that you had to play, different roles, shooting, defense, diving, all those different things?
Yeah, I mean, the year, I feel like my role changed throughout the course of the year. I think continuing to just show up as my best self, regardless of starting or not, or playing more on the ball defensively or off, whatever the night looked like, I feel like my ability to adapt grew throughout the year, and that's something that I think I can continue to work on my game, is being flexible and being able to really just do whatever the team needs. And this year, I think everyone on our team was challenged.
When the team's energy faded, she reignited it. She played defense like her life depended on it, diving for loose balls, switching on picks, doing all the thankless work that never makes the highlight reel. But lately, something changed. During her exit interview, Lexie didn't sound angry or emotional, just tired. She kept using words like *uncertainty* and *we'll see what comes*, and in pro sports, that usually means *I'm not coming back*. This wasn't about ego or money, it was about direction. The Fever started to feel like a team without a map, constantly shuffling lineups, hoping something would finally click.
Is something that we won't forget, the injuries, the playing through playing with groups that we are just haven't even practiced with for the first time in games. Like, we were faced with so much uncertainty. So I think there isn't like one pinpoint game where I'm like, I'll remember that game. It's almost just.
When you've been in the storm long enough, you eventually stop waiting for it to pass. You walk away. Even the way Lexie said she loved the fans and the franchise felt like a goodbye disguised as gratitude. She had built a life in Indiana, but lately, it just didn't fit anymore. The hardest part. Caitlin Clark saw it coming, and there was nothing she could do to stop it. Here's where things start to make sense, and hurt even more. Lexie Hull wasn't just leaving a team. She was escaping instability. All season long, her role shifted like sand under her feet. One night she was guarding elite wings, the next she was coming off the bench. Some games, she barely touched the floor. Her job description changed faster than the Fever's win-loss record. In her own words, she talked about adapting, about showing up no matter the role. That's not the language of someone thriving. That's survival talk. She was doing what professionals do when the system stops making sense, adjusting just to stay afloat. Behind her calm tone, you could hear the exhaustion. She praised her teammates, smiled for the cameras, but the message between the lines was clear: enough is enough. Not even Caitlin Clark's presence could fix that. The hype, the ticket sales, the spotlight, none of it solved the deeper issue. The Fever have no rhythm, no structure, no stability. And when a player like Lexie, disciplined, selfless, team first, gets thrown into chaos, you're not just losing games, you're burning out your culture. Then came the kicker: Lexie's restricted free agent status. Indiana could have matched any offer to keep her, if they truly wanted to. But her tone didn't sound like someone waiting on paperwork. She'd already made peace with leaving. She said her role changed throughout the year and that she'd learned to be flexible. That's the polite version. The truth. It's impossible to find rhythm when your responsibilities change every week. No shooter can stay consistent like that. No defender can stay confident. And that's the contradiction at the heart of Indiana's story. They talk about building stability, yet they treat their most reliable players like experiments. Lexie never complained publicly, but her interview said enough: a mix of exhaustion, professionalism, and quiet frustration. Meanwhile, as she did the dirty work, defending, hustling, adapting, the headlines were all about Caitlin Clark. Every shot, every stare, every tweet centered on her. Lexie's sacrifices barely made a ripple. And it's not Caitlin's fault. She didn't ask for the circus. But that imbalance wears down a locker room. So when Lexie started talking about uncertainty in the league, it wasn't random. She wasn't just referring to free agency. She was calling out the system. The lack of direction. The instability. That feeling every player dreads, that no matter how much you give, it's never enough. And when even your most loyal player starts hinting that she's done believing, the cracks aren't small anymore, they're structural. Now pull back the curtain. Lexie Hull's exit isn't just emotional, it's strategic. She didn't just leave Indiana, she joined Unrivaled, the off-season league created by Nafi Sokolia and Brianna Stewart. That move says everything. It's not just about staying active or getting more representatives. It's about control over playing time, pay, and respect. Players across the WNBA are tired of feeling disposable. The CBA talks are hanging by a thread. A potential lockout looms in 2026. Management chaos is everywhere. And Lexie's decision. It's a warning shot, not just to Indiana, but to the entire league. So, Lexie did what smart pros do: she protected her future. She chose a system that values independence, one that lets her grow without begging for minutes or structure. But her decision revealed something deeper. She's done waiting for the Fever to figure it out. When she said she wanted to work on her offense and keep adapting, that wasn't just about development. It was her way of saying she's ready to move on, and for Caitlin Clark, that's the hardest part. Her closest teammate didn't leave in anger. She left because she was tired of caring more than the system did. Lexie's departure is a mirror for everyone still in that locker room, especially Caitlin, showing exactly what happens when loyalty meets frustration. Lexie Hull's exit isn't just an Indiana problem, it's a WNBA problem. What she did quietly reflects how a lot of players are feeling right now. The league is heading into a storm, a mix of uncertainty, labor tension, and player fatigue. With CBA talks looming, travel issues, pay gaps, and inconsistent leadership, players are exhausted from waiting for real change. And when someone like Lexie, a player built on grit, humility, and consistency, decides to walk away from the traditional system, that's not coincidence. That's a statement. Her move to unrivaled is part of a growing shift. Players are done waiting. They want leverage. They want ownership. They want control over their careers. That ripple effect is spreading across the league. Veterans are questioning whether the grind is worth it. Rookies are realizing loyalty doesn't always get rewarded. And fans, especially Fever fans, are learning that chemistry can't survive chaos forever. For Caitlin Clark, that means stepping into uncharted territory. She's now the face of a franchise unraveling in real time. Her leadership, her patience, even her faith in the organization will be tested. Because when players like Lexie leave, they don't just take stats, they take the culture, the quiet leadership, the balance that keeps a team together. If Indiana doesn't rebuild its identity soon, it risks becoming the cautionary tale of the new WNBA era, a team that had the star power but lost its heart. So here we are, the dust settling, the headlines fading, and one truth standing tall. Lexie Hull's exit isn't just another off-season move. It's a message written between the lines. She didn't leave because she couldn't handle the spotlight. She left because she was tired of living in someone else's shadow. Lexie was the kind of player every team claims to want: humble, reliable, relentless. And if she's walking away, it says more about the Fever than it ever could about her days. For Caitlin, this moment could go either way. If she steps up, rebuilds trust, unites that locker room, and demands accountability, she becomes the leader Indiana desperately needs. If not, the Fever risk falling into the same cycle: talent wasted, potential forgotten. Lexie Hull's quiet goodbye might end up being the loudest warning this franchise ever gets, a reminder that loyalty doesn't mean much if the system keeps breaking the people who give everything to it. So, Fever fans, what do you think? Did Lexie make the right call walking away? And can Caitlin Clark hold this franchise together before it completely falls apart? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you love honest takes that cut through the noise, like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives, because this story? It's far from over.